everyone, let's have a little check-in with goals. I'm very low-key today and low on energy, and so we're trying to do this in one take. Let's see if that works before every camera in this house runs out of battery, like the other one I usually use. Anyways, let's start with the bookish goals and life goals afterwards. I'm going to read from my notes. So, bookish goals. I'm doing good, by the way. I'm still reading what I want to read. I have no clear goal of what kind of books I want to read. I'm basically mood reading all the way. So far, I'm counting 82 books for the year, which makes about 41 audiobooks, 23 ebooks, and 18 physical books, which is still split 50-50 for reading and listening, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I have read about 9,757 pages and about 17,194 minutes were listened to. So I'm still on an average of about 1,000 pages per month and about 2,000 minutes roughly per month, which is also a nice amount of reading that I can still manage to fit into my days. I'm quite happy about that. When I look at the length of the books, the average for reading is 238 pages and the average for listening is about 430 minutes. So that goes along with how I sometimes go and choose my books, because often I just don't want to be wrapped up or caught up in something too long, so I'm looking for shorter reads or shorter listens because I'm scatterbrained and whatever. So that's perfectly reflecting how I'm feeling about my reading. I have been reading a little bit more longer books throughout the year every now and again, but I keep going back to choosing books by lengths. Yeah, let's look at some other stats that I'm roughly counting or looking at. I'm doing awful on German authors. I only read 2, and I think they were all read in Q2 and Q1, or maybe just Q1. Let's move on. Non-fiction, I'm doing rather great. It's 19 books. Looking at classics, I read about 11, counting modern classics and classics. Translations, I'm at 15 books this year already, and with rereads, I'm also at 15 books. Not so bad. Sequels, I've been reading quite a few sequels lately, so there's 11 books, and I started 4 series that year, which I also finished some of, so that counts for the sequels. Not so bad. When I look at the rest of the year for my reading, I don't think I want to change anything this year, but I have been thinking about changing something up again for next year, because I noticed that while mood reading is nice, it does feel a little bit random and purposeless at some point, and I don't really know exactly how I feel about that yet, but I'm thinking of maybe putting at least 1 or 2 challenges or more stricter goals with a purpose in my reading. We'll see. Maybe 2023. For the Q4, I'm gonna continue mood reading as I go along. And that brings us to the life goals. I failed everything in the Q3. I didn't do well. I had 4 goals. I wanted to run 10K again. I'm still at 4 kilometers. I don't know what happened, but I'm awful at running. I just don't know why. I'm a little stressed for time. I think the overwork, which is still going on, is also affecting my body, but who knows for what the reasons are, but basically I'm running 4K still. So failed that one. I wanted to do daily exercise again. I skipped a lot of exercises. I noticed that not having a strict daily walking goal anymore for this year was not a good idea. So I'm implementing that again. I'm definitely trying to not skip exercise and to go on a walk or a run every day. So that's definitely one goal for Q4 that's going to happen. Daily exercise, no skipping, and walks. I also wanted to do some Korean every day, which I skipped a few days, but mostly I did. But I noticed there also that oftentimes I was just too exhausted after work, and I just did one of the Duolingo lessons to just keep the streak and do something. But it wasn't any fun. And recently I started doing more than just one lesson again, and also went back to Unit 1 to finish all of that up. And I noticed that when I invest more time and I don't feel just scrambling by, it's more fun. And so what I want to do is, of course, to keep that going, but also see if I invest more time again into the Korean learning, that is more enjoyable again, and I might be progressing, because I think at the moment I'm treading water on the same spot. I'm not moving forward, I'm not moving backward, I'm just, treading water. The last goal I had was to survive work or get a better work-life balance. I think everybody who follows me anywhere knows that's not happening. So we are supposed to get a new person in October who hopefully finally will take some of the workload I have away from me. But I don't know if it actually happens. It's one of those things where you're like, it's supposed to happen, but until it happens, you don't believe it. So I am hoping that for the last quarter, work will go down, which is an imaginary goal or idea, because first of all, seasonally, a lot of work is coming my way in October and November. But the university is saving money and turning off the heating around Christmas, so I'm taking 3 weeks off around Christmas when there's no heating at the office, because I don't want to work from home again. So I finally get a break around Christmas. I'm looking forward to that. So let's look at what I wrote down for goals in the Q4. I want to invest more time into things that I want to do. Well, yeah, that's what I said with the Korean. I noticed that just keeping a maintenance of the things I want to do, it's mostly habits I'm trying to keep going at the moment, but just keeping it going isn't working well. So I want to invest more time in the daily exercise, in the daily walks, in the Korean lessons, those things where I notice if I put a little bit more effort in it, I'm actually enjoying it more than if I'm just doing it to keep my streak going, if that makes sense. So that's one goal. And I already said that I went back to finish the lessons in Unit 1 for the Korean in Duolingo. And I want to see if I can finish Unit 1 and Unit 2 with all the lessons that are concerned there, and see how I'm feeling afterwards. And also maybe do some other things around it and not just a lesson a day. So, and then we'll see how Korean learning is going to continue in 2023, because at the moment I'm not quite happy with where I am, but I want to keep that up. I also realized that currently I'm not quite happy with where I am and what I'm doing, in a more general basis, that I don't think I know what kind of life I want to have. I've recently said that in my letter to September, and also thinking about it quite a bit, that the life I wanted to always have, and I used to have before the pandemic, before I started this office job, is not available anymore due to varying reasons, and a lot of them just life happening, people changing, and age, and the pandemic. And I'm noticing that I don't even know if I want that life anymore. So what I thought for Q4 would be an idea to figure out what I want, and maybe do some value questioning and purpose questioning and those kind of things again. I have done those things quite a while back, but that was all before I started this job. And currently I'm not sure. I feel like all I want to do is eat chocolate, watch TV, and spend the time reading, which is nice, but it also kind of empty. I don't know. So I need to figure out what I want. And this is also going together with the experiences of goals I made this year. I didn't really make specific goals or hard challenging goals for the year. And in the beginning, I thought I didn't really know what I wanted to go for. So this year was a lot going with the flow. And I wouldn't say it feels aimless, but just like with the reading, there is no purpose in there or nothing to strive for. And I kind of like that in other years. And I don't know if I want to maybe do that more, maybe put more pressure or stress on some of the exercise goals, the Korean goals, or start something new. I don't know. Those are thoughts I'm having right now as to decide what kind of life do I want to have. Do I want to go back to traveling, spending more time with people and hanging out more, being on more adventures, or do I just want to sit at home and read all the time? We'll see. So, as usual, I have random goals that aren't really goals if you look at them at how people make goals. But anyways, this is where I'm at, and 2022 is rather unsuccessful when it comes to goals. Let's be real there. So, enough of me. Let me know in comments how you're doing. Is anything going okay with you? Are you still hanging in there? Are you changing up goals? Are you fed up with goals? Do you feel happy with not having goals? Or are you experiencing some free time or space around making goals that you would like to embellish on in 2023? Let's talk goals. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.